Hi, my name is Susan, and it is my life's passion to help anyone live a happier life. If anybody's ever in that dark hole of a life to where they think that there is no hope and nothing else to live for, then that was me. And if someone like me can crawl out of the hole that I was in, and I can help anybody else, if I can help anybody else crawl out of that hole, then by golly, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do whatever I can to try to teach everybody everything that I've ever known. When I stumbled on the law of attraction, it was an absolute gift from God, because I literally told him that if there was nothing else out there for me, then there's nothing else here for me, because I just didn't want to wake up every day as miserable and as sad as I was every day. So anyway, it is my absolute passion to help people become happy like I am. So I want to discuss the law of attraction. When I was first taught it, I didn't understand a lot of what was being said. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, and the way that I learn is very weird. I'm very different from people, so I learn in a very different way, and I explain things in a different way because it's how I learned it. Now, people might not understand the way that I'm expressing it, or they might not like the way that I'm expressing it, but there's no evil or bad demeanor behind it. It's all just how I understood it and what helped me become the person that I am. Now, with that being said, I'm going to talk about how you create your life story. Now, the way you create your life story, the first step you need to take is you have to understand that all of everything that everyone around you says and does, or anything that you intend on doing, the turnout from it is always because of a thought, a feeling from a thought that you had either earlier today, yesterday, last week, last month. Like it was a thought. So before you can move forward, you have to understand that. You have to accept that. And there is no moving forward without knowing this, because if you don't understand that, then the manifesting is not going to work, because you're not using all of the steps. Now, with saying that, you understand things all the way up until now. You didn't know that this is really how life is. So knowing that all of your past thoughts and behaviors have created everything up until now, that means that everyone else in your life are all reacting the way that you have created for them to act. Therefore, when you are recreating the people around you, recreating your life, you cannot move forward with anger. You have to forgive everyone around you for the things that they've done to you up until this point, until you start manifesting the good things, because they didn't know that this was coming from you. They were all taught the same things as well. They thought it was their idea. It wasn't their idea. It was your idea. You can't really be angry with somebody else for something that you caused to happen. I'm not saying that super bad things are all your fault. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that everything that's happened up until now is because of your thoughts. I had to admit it to myself, and I've had some crazy bad things happen to me, and I've forgiven the people that have done it to me, and I've also recreated those people. Believe it or not, 100%. I have recreated people from people would call like hell people into really, really sweet people who will do anything for me. So it's crazy. It's for real. And the number one thing I had to do was I had to forgive them, and then I had to forgive myself for creating that. I couldn't hold a grudge against them nor myself because of it. Now, after that, I had to understand that this is all a new teaching to me. This is all brand new teaching. So up until this time in my life, for many years, I'm not even going to say my age, I was taught something completely different. So my subconscious is always going to react in the way that, well, not always now, but was reacting in the way that I always knew. And all of the manifestations come from, our subconscious, what our subconscious thinks and feels. And we want our subconscious thinking to go along with our conscious thinking. So the way that we get our subconscious thinking to go along with our conscious thinking is we have to reprogram the subconscious, which means we can't set an intention up here and then not do anything back here and expect for it to just go with the flow and be okay and turn out the way that we want. That's not going to happen. So when we're not using this, we have to reprogram this. There are several ways that I enjoy doing it because it keeps me in line, it keeps me in check. It's always reprogramming my subconscious. It takes me to the brainwave, the levels of brainwave that I need to be in. And I love to do things like scripting. I always do meditations. I'll do guided meditations, or I'll do my own meditations. When I'm sleeping, I'll always sleep with something, whether it's a subliminal, an affirmation, a guided sleep meditation. I find that meditations for opening third eye or your energy centers are really good. I like to do meditations that don't focus on what I'm manifesting because I don't want to obsess over what I'm manifesting. I like to work on myself through the meditations and then manifest things on the outside of that, if that makes any sense. And also, I find that the number one thing that you need to do is guard how you talk and think about yourself. You have to 100% love yourself. You have to. You have to speak to yourself in a good way. You have to think in a good way. You cannot call yourself beautiful in one sentence and then think in your head that you're ugly and fat. That's just not going to happen. If you're going to call yourself beautiful, you need to think that you're beautiful as well. You need to constantly, I'm beautiful, I'm worth it, whether manifesting a person or money. You deserve it. You're beautiful. It's going to happen because you're you and you are worth it. So these are all things that you just need to constantly tell yourself, constantly say, don't let the old things fall out. Like for me, when I started, I had to stop myself. I had to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's not happening because I'm not worth it. And then stop myself and be like, no, I am worth it. You have to stop yourself and correct it as soon as you think it or say it. Because if you don't stop it and correct it and you don't practice that, then it's never going to change. It's not going to change. Your subconscious is always going to think the same things that it's always thought. Another thing you need to realize is everything in your life doesn't have a meaning until you put one to it. Which means, okay, let's say Joe Bob didn't call me, and Joe Bob's who I have my heart on. Now, did Joe Bob not call me because he doesn't like me and he doesn't feel like talking right now and he just has better things to do? Or am I going to make it to where Joe Bob didn't call me because he was taking a nap, or maybe he lost his phone, or maybe his phone died, or maybe he's busy? What meaning am I going to put to it? Well, right now, I'm going to put a great meaning to it because I know what to do now. But before, it took a lot of me stopping myself. It took a lot of me thinking about, what meaning I'm going to put to it. I could not put a negative meaning. I had to put a positive meaning. And after I put that meaning, I had to believe it. I had to absolutely believe it. Now, whenever you set an intention and people say, let it go. Well, we are human beings. There's absolutely no way we can not think about it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to forget about it. Okay, let it go means, yes, you want to go on and live your life and try not to, you don't want to obsess over it and you don't want to make it more important than you are. But let it go means you need to let go of your past doubts. You need to let go of your past fears. You need to let go of your past worries, because when you doubt and when you fear and when you worry, not only are you telling the universe or God that you don't trust them, you're also telling yourself that you don't trust yourself either. And the biggest rule in manifesting anything in the law of attraction is you have to love yourself. You cannot love if you don't have trust. So you have to put trust into all of that, into yourself, into the universe, into God. You have to put trust in yourself. Now, another thing that goes along with it is when you are manifesting something, you have to, once you've manifested it, or when you're in the process of manifesting it, your actions and your reactions have to be different. When you are dealing with the law of attraction and you're trying to change things in your life, you can't make changes without changing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Now let's say I'm trying to manifest, again, a specific person. And my ex back. How about this? My ex back. And he's my ex for a reason, but I'm trying to manifest him back. So I get my ex back, and once I get my ex back, I react to everything the same way I reacted before. I acted upon things the same way I acted upon things. I said the same things. My demeanor was completely the same. Guess what's going to happen in our relationship? It's going to turn out the same way it turned out before. It's going to end. He's going to be my ex again. So you need to make sure that you change all of your behaviors, not just in your brain, not just the way you speak to yourself, all your behaviors, even the way that you act and react towards things. Sorry. I just had a brain, like, my brain just died for a second. No, just remember that, you know, everything comes from a past thought. So when you're manifesting something and, you know, it's coming about and then something bad happens, just remind yourself that that is coming from an old thought. You know, the new things are going to start happening while the old things are riding out. So all of your old feelings and thoughts have to ride themselves out before you get all of the new things. So for that being said, it's not going to come in order. So you'll be, your old stuff will be kind of, you know, dwindling down, and then something new will happen. It's like, wow, the specific person, I have him back. And then something happens that's from an old thought or feeling, like something negative happens, and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? No, you didn't do anything wrong, okay? If you think it's something wrong, stop right then and there and reinforce your intention. I intend for him to love me. I intend for him to, you know, worship the ground and walk on. I intend to always get my way. And just remind yourself that whatever happened in the past, it's got to ride itself out. So just because the new things start happening doesn't mean all of the old things have ridden through all the way. When you're setting an intention, my biggest thing that I love to do, if you have trouble with visualizing, this is absolutely great, because you can't really go wrong with scripting. I love scripting. I absolutely love it. I can't tell you how many times a day I write, but I write all the time. I don't necessarily like for myself to date it with a future date, because if I date it with a future date, I kind of obsess over that date. Like, what did I write? You know, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen today? I don't like that. So I leave the dates completely out. But some people do like to date it for a future date, and then within that put like a past fake date of when they were thinking about manifesting it, and then it happened that day. But I always write in present and past tense. And it's, you know, I'm sure if somebody picked up my journal and read it, they'd be like, wow, this girl's a complete liar. But no, like, you have to do it, because when you do it, it brings you into that brainwave, that meditated state. And that's where you want to be when you're filling your subconscious with all of your thoughts and your intentions. And you write it in a present or past tense, sorry. You write it out in present or past tense. You're in that meditative state, and you're also visualizing as you're writing. I mean, you're writing it out like, you know, he loves me so much. He thinks I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. And, you know, we went on a date, and there were flowers and candles, and we ate this. I mean, you're giving all of your senses. While you're writing this, you have nothing but feelings coming out. You're feeling it. You're visualizing it. You're doing all of that, and you're getting excited about it. So when you're writing all that, always put gratitude. Always put, I'm thankful to the universe. I'm thankful this happened. I'm thankful that happened. I'm super happy, blah, blah, blah. When you're finished and you close that book, you continue for the rest of your day feeling that same feeling that you wrote right then and there. It's just absolutely awesome. It's the greatest thing ever, I think. And, you know, while I'm writing, I write, if I'm sitting around or whatever, and something happens that I don't like, if it's around, I grab my notebook and a pen, and I just start writing out that whole thing the way I want for it to be. That's how I set all of my intentions. I set every single thing through writing. I mean, it's amazing. It is so amazing. I think it's such a great gift that it's so easy. All he needs is paper and a pen. The hardest part is getting used to writing again, because most people don't write. They like to type. The other reason why I enjoy writing is because you're putting energy into it. So it's another way of investing energy into what you're trying to manifest. And you know, this is all different. This is all hard. It's all the past. If you jump into it with, you know, full both feet, it's going to go really well, and it's going to go really fast. Now, if we sit back and we worry and we're constantly questioning, when is it going to come? When's it going to come? Is it going to happen? Is this real? Well, it's going to take a lot longer for it to happen, because you're doubting, you're not trusting, you're in fear, you're living in a total state of where you don't want to be. So if you accept the things and, you know, in the ways that I'm laying them out for you, then it'll be easier for you to manifest, because you do have to accept the big things in the beginning before you can move forward. You know, you have to admit that there's a problem in order to fix a problem. So that's pretty much what you're doing before you even begin the law of attraction. All of it is new, but eventually it's going to become the new norm. Eventually it's going to become normal. Eventually it's going to become your lifestyle. Eventually you're going to be doing it without even having to think about it, without having to apply. I mean, it's just like doing anything in life. When you start something new, it's hard, it's different, it's a new practice. It's constantly reminding yourself. But once you do it forever, you know, for a while, it becomes really, really easy, and it becomes really, really happy. And I mean, it's just, I can't explain to you how my life has flipped upside down learning about this. And like I said, I was in a really deep, depressed, bad state in my life before I fell onto this. This was the last resort for me in my life. So, you know, what I really want to say to close this is, like, you know, be happy, you know, love life, be excited, be eternally grateful, and live in gratitude, because it's all changing. It's all going to change. If you listen to everything I just laid out for you, and you believe it, and you practice it, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, in a month or two, you're going to be absolutely ecstatic. It can happen in days. It just matters on how much you're going to put into it. I'm the type of person where when I do something, I do it 110%. I teach piano, so before I do a piano competition, I never ever say yes that I'll do it unless I know I'm going to put it on 110%. I skated roller derby for years. You know, before I started that, I said, I'm not going to do it, you know, unless I put 110%. And within, you know, a couple months, like probably about a year, I was coaching other teams or leading training and things like that. So, you know, anybody can do anything if you put your heart and your mind to, and nothing's stronger than your heart. So if you really come from your heart with everything, you can absolutely do it. And I'm going to tell you this, if I can do it, you can do it. So have a great day. I really hope that this helped with somebody. If you liked it, check again. I'll probably have more videos for you. I might get bored on a day like today and make some more, but yeah, it was nice being able to share with somebody. Hopefully I can help change your life and create your life story. Bye.